On this episode of Cape Media News, summer is officially underway and we hear the yearly beach prognostication from Cape Cod's own Doug the Quahog. Shark Watch continues, and this week we learn about tracking from the air with pilot Wayne Davis. And we'll catch up with the Cotuit Kettleers on the road in Yarmouth. These stories and more, this is Cape Media News. Welcome, everyone. This is Cape Media News, your local authentic newscast for Cape Cod. I'm Sarah Colvin. Summer is here and the weather so far has been wonderful, but what will it be like for the rest of the season? Doug the Quahog made his annual predictions this week. Quahog Day was held on the first day of summer at the Pilot House restaurant in Sandwich. Security was tight at the Pilot House in Sandwich on the first day of summer 2018 as a crowd eagerly awaited the arrival of Cape Cod's famous prognosticating quahog, Doug. The quahog arrived in the bright pink funk bus, escorted by his security team to the grassy lawn of the Pilot House, where all were ready to hear Doug's prediction for just how many beautiful beach days we'll have here on Cape Cod.
Here we go. Sounds good. This man is more ready and more accurate than most weather forecasters. Sorry.
I can get security on YouTube, big fella. I got my own.
67 days of great beach weather, but plenty of days for retail, museums, shopping, anything you want to do on Cape Cod. Come on down. We're going to take care of you. 67 days of sunshine, though.
67 days of sunshine. Let's hear it. And 100% chance of fun on Cape Cod.
Absolutely, absolutely.
You know, when my parents named me Doug, I think it was inspired by Doug the Quahog, to be honest with you, because I was born in the Cape Cod Hospital. So because I was born there, I still have sand between my toes, so we actually may be related in some small, strange way.
You know, it was magic, magic, magic. That's all I can say. Any chance we get, magic comes here if you open yourself up to it. And Doug one day spoke to me, and the rest is history. Now we can kind of predict the weather. 10 years he's only been off once, and it was a bad year. He was in a bad way, a little red tide. But outside of that, been spot on. So we're hoping this year carries true the way every year has since.
If he can nail it like he did for today, this is a win. It's a win for Cape Cod. It's a win for everybody on this side of the bridge and that side of the bridge, because this is the best time of the year, summer on Cape Cod.
Doug's glad school is out as well, so everybody's going to win on this one. Yeah. Doug says 67 days of sunny beach weather, but more importantly, he wanted to make sure everyone knew around the world that Cape Cod's open for business even if it's not sunny. There's great beaches, of course, but there's also great restaurants, there's great retail, there's great museums. So we hope you all come and visit us because we'd love to show you what we have to offer.
But we've been here many of them. I think all of them.
We plan our vacation around this
day.
So
every year.
It's so important for you guys to come to Quahog Day.
You know what? It's so much fun. The Chamber does an awesome job getting everything planned. We love Johnny. He's a hoot. We trust Doug more than Punxsutawney Phil, and we're even from Pennsylvania, so.
So Doug versus Punxsutawney Phil, who wins?
Oh, Doug, no question. A furry little rodent over a true quahog, a staple of Cape Cod. Punxsutawney who?
Doug's prediction, 67 days of beach weather for Cape Cod's 2018 summer season. For Cape Media News, I'm Sarah Colvin. Coming up next, we take a look at new recycling regulations in Yarmouth, and later we hear from shark tracking pilot Wayne Davis.
Marie, you have prediabetes.
Prediabetes? I don't have time to eat right or exercise. I'm a busy mom.
Oh, you're a busy mom.
Yeah.
This is great news. Busy moms never get prediabetes.
Wait, what?
Let me just... Yeah, this is all the people at risk for prediabetes, and way over here, busy moms. No?
Changes in global recycling regulations are having an impact here on Cape Cod. We learn what one town is doing to keep up with the trends. If you're recycling in the town of Yarmouth, make sure to separate newspaper from other paper to help comply with some changes being made at the transfer station.
Here in the town of Yarmouth, we were told just within the past 6 months that our newspaper recycling stream was contaminated by everything else in the loads. So what we were submitting as a newspaper load was considered contaminated and so therefore lost its value. At the time, a single newspaper load containing about 3 to 4 tons could potentially garner a fee or a rebate to the town of Yarmouth in anywhere from $40 to $60 a ton. Because of the contamination of brown bags, glossy ads, mail envelopes with plastic windows, even printer paper, it changed that newspaper load to a mixed paper load, and so therefore it began to cost the town money. Newspaper just seems to be the very first thing that we're hearing about. Our commingled stream, which contains plastic, aluminum, tin, and glass, went from $55 a ton in December of 2017 to $80 a ton in January of 2018. In March of 2018, it went to $90 a ton. So we're really experiencing some heavy costs for our recycling.
And so in an effort to save money, Yarmouth is working to ensure recyclables remain uncontaminated.
We're pulling out the mixed paper, anything that is not newspaper, and we're putting it into another container. That's been really confusing for our residents because they've really gotten used to being able to put everything into that newspaper bin. And I think that's something that we really want to get through to people is yep, newspapers are great. Newspapers only in the newspaper bin, and then we have what we're calling a mixed paper.
Mixed paper includes thin cereal boxes, tissue paper boxes, and other thin cardboard. Glass, plastic, tin all go in commingled, and corrugated cardboard is tossed in a separate bin.
I think that everyone struggles with finding enough space inside their home to recycle everything that they need to recycle or that they want to recycle. And glass being the heaviest thing, we definitely want to say, give it a quick rinse. I'm not asking you to scrub it. I don't want you to waste water. I'm scrub it out, and the lid can go in one container if it's metal, and the glass can go in the other container. But right now, we're still sticking with the commingled. We're not changing that yet. Don't wish it to be a recycle. Ask us. We'll be glad to help you. I try really hard to keep our website updated, and there's a lot of people who have questions, and they really help me get those answers on the website. So that's the big thing, is don't hesitate to send me an email. My email address is on the website. It's rwhitehouse@yarmouth.ma.us. If you have questions, I'm happy to answer them, and I'll try to get the answers on the website.
A series of public information sessions are scheduled. Visit the Town of Yarmouth's website for details. For Cape Media News, I'm Sarah Colvin. Shark season is here, and scientists are working to learn more about these mysterious creatures. Gabrielle Rawson caught up with pilot Wayne Davis.
It's Shark Watch 2018. Pilot Wayne Davis flies up and down the coast for the Atlantic White Shark Conservancy to assist in their continued efforts to track and study sharks on Cape Cod. We met up with him at the Chatham Airport.
I'm Wayne Davis, about to start a research day for the Atlantic White Shark Conservancy and Dr. Greg Scommel and Megan Winton. It's a beautiful day. We're going to go out and look for white sharks, and it's early in the season. This is the second day of the season. Also, this is the 5th and final year of a 5-year population study. As of the end of last year, in 4 seasons, we have put a positive video ID on 320 great white sharks.
Davis's shark spotting strategy is simple.
I just go out and get to the beach and fly up and down the beach. I mean, right over the beach, because that's where we see most of them. Most of them with, some of them are only in hip-deep water, and most of them are like within 100 yards or 200 yards of the beach. Mostly it's just outside the surf line. And as soon as the water warms up a little, the sharks will be here looking for seals after their long migration from, the southeast.
In 2015, state and federal laws made it illegal to feed, bait, or chum for white sharks in state waters. For humans and sharks, this added a measure of safety. But for researchers, this meant finding an alternative way to track the sharks.
The fact is, if you're going to go out and research white sharks here, because chumming is not allowed, we can't do anything to attract them to us, we have to go look for them. And to find them from a boat, from the surface of the water, it's not impossible, but it's very, very difficult. To complete a study like this, you got to have somebody in the air.
Davis's aerial photographs do more than just help researchers track and study sharks. They also raise awareness.
Awareness inspires conservation. That's the motto of the Atlantic White Shark Conservancy. I've become aware of so many things myself, even after spending 40+ years in the air, about sharks and the Cape. I don't know when the last time was. I think it was 1938, since someone's really gotten chowed on here on the Cape. But these sharks are not looking for people. They're hardwired for high calorie, great big seals. I've seen so many of them for swim by, surfers, swimmers, boats, and they're totally oblivious to most things, except for the time, rarely, we don't even know how often this is, that they get hungry. And when they get hungry, they're looking for a seal.
Even still, Davis encourages swimmers to use caution.
I think it's common knowledge just to don't swim where there are seals. And if you do see seals, coming to where you're swimming, it's a good idea to get out of the water. However, along the Cape, there are many places where there are not seals. Just because there are not seals doesn't mean there's not a white shark. So, don't go very deep.
For Cape Media News, I'm Gabrielle Rawson.
Up next, fresh local food on display in Chatham.
Mrs. and Mrs. Jimmy at the debut.
I came from 5 generations of teachers. Losing my job was the bottom falling out of my world.
This time of year, farmers markets can be found from one end of Cape Cod to the other. Hannah Winter checks in on Chatham's bounty.
It's summer on Cape Cod, and the Chatham Farmers Market is open and ready to offer a wide variety of fresh goods.
We are here every Tuesday from 3 to 6:30. We are loaded with local farmers and vendors. It's really important to know where your food's coming from. It's really important to know how the practices are to grow it and to help sustain your local community.
We sell anything that we grow. Right now it's strawberry season. We have kale, cabbage, carrots, onions, quite a variety.
It's nice to switch up and eat what's in season, and that's what you get at the farmers markets.
It's all coming from here and it's all fresh.
There's a lot of different things here, and popcorn.
We own Cape Cod with Good Kettle Corn. We do a flavor a week. Last week we did honey sriracha, which everybody seemed to like. This week we have sour cream and chive, so kind of like a sour cream and onion chip. It's always really busy.
You've got a lot of entrepreneurs here who do something so well they feel the need to give it to the public. So you're spending your money wisely. You're supporting families, you're supporting efforts, you're supporting the vendors I buy from. It just completely is, it's just perfect.
I'm here at the farmers market selling some handmade goods, things that I've sewn myself, including a lot of bags and home goods as well. I like to think that it sort of elevates the everyday with a splash of color, or something that's just uplifting to people to have.
They've always had really good food and honey. I just saw that they have detergents and everything, which is wonderful. So I really like coming here, and plus it supports the community and everything.
The Chatham Farmers Market runs through October every Tuesday from 3 to 6:30 and gives visitors the chance to buy fresh, local food.
Our strawberries are red. They have all the flavor. They're fresh. They were just picked today and yesterday. You're not going to get that in the supermarket. You're going to get something that has to be picked when it's still green, and then it comes up. So it makes a big difference in flavor and all around.
you have no idea where that food's been before. At least you kind of understand and get to know your farmer at a farmer's market. You have no idea when it comes from the grocery store.
Find the Chatham Farmers Market near Ocean State Job Lot in West Chatham.
So come on down to the Chatham Farmers Market and find out who your farmer is.
For Cape Media News, I'm Hannah Winter.
And nothing says summer on Cape Cod more like the Cape Cod Baseball League. That season is underway, and here on Cape Media News, we'll hear from all of our local teams in the coming weeks. This week, we take a look at the Cotuit Kettleers.
The Cape Cod Baseball League is in full swing. This week, Cape Media News got to know the Cotuit Kettleers.
Hi, I'm Mike Roberts, the head coach of the Cotuit Kettleers in the Cape League, and this is my 15th year in Cotuit and my 34th year overall managing on and off in the Cape League. It's early in the season, and we have a lot of permanent players, which means they will be here for the year. We have a lot of young men who come in on what they call temporary contracts that take the chance of working to make the club and competing, which I love the guys who do that as well, because that means they're not scared of competition. But so far we have a really good mix of those type players, and we're happy with our progress the team has made through the first 10 games.
There's a lot of scouts. The league, that's why it's the #1 league in the country for players to come in. The most players come out of here, go into the major leagues, so this is really the big stepping stone to see how they play against other high competition level.
It's quite an honor knowing that you're walking in the same footsteps as Chris Sale and countless others. I think they say 500 big leaguers have come out of the Cape Cod League, and so the fact that you're here is an honor, and that it should give you confidence to make it to the next level.
I'm really excited. You know, it's always great to get up here. Great weather, great scenery everywhere you go. You know, there's beautiful parks everywhere you go, and the players are just amazing. You know, whether it's making the relationship with them or just playing against future major leaguers, you know, it's a fun experience. You know, it's good having that pressure with all the players that have come before us, so I think it helps us out.
I mean, I'm really just trying to learn from the coaches. I mean, not only them, but from the players, because I mean, everybody's coming from a different perspective. I mean, different coaching staffs, different styles, and I mean, it'd just be great to kind of soak up whatever they have to offer, and I mean, kind of take that home back to school and show my teammates.
The young men who come here to play, on the average, have a much better chance of playing at least one day in the major leagues than they do if they play in any other summer league. My overall philosophy as an offensive coach is to put pressure on the other team, and that's what we've tried to do through the years. Pitching-wise, I think it doesn't change no matter whether it's 9-year-olds pitching or all the way to the major leagues, and I'm fortunate to spend some time with the Chicago Cubs the last 5 years, and the philosophy is the same at the major league level. Is you want to throw strikes first, and then you want to change speeds, and you got a chance to get people out if you have reasonable defense behind them.
While this game was on the road, the Kettleers encourage fans to watch them at their home field, historic Lowell Park.
Every field has their own uniqueness to it, and I think ours is what we try to do is have it like this one at YD. There's no lights, so it's very friendly, family orientated. There's the kids can ride their bikes up. It's right in the middle of the community. They can sail and come up.
I'm extremely blessed to be in the community of Cotuit. It's Norman Rockwell-ish. We have a beautiful little ballpark with 19 acres of greenery around it. That's we really know how fortunate we are, and I think everybody who steps foot in this league in any capacity, internship, coach, player, broadcaster, whatever it may be, we all need to be thankful that we're here.
For Cape Media News, I'm Gabrielle Rawson.
On Saturday, catch Orleans at Cotuit at 5, YD at Bourne at 6, Chatham at Falmouth at 6, Harwich at Hyannis at 6, and Brewster at Wareham at 6:30. You can find the full schedule online at capecodbaseball.org. Well, that's a wrap for this week. Next week, we'll take you behind the tattoo at the Cape Cod Museum of Art, and we'll celebrate the groundbreaking for the new Dennis Senior Center. Stay up to date with us online at capemedia.org, where you can read our blog, watch past episodes and segments, and learn more about the Cape Cod Community Media Center. For Cape Media News, I'm Sarah Colvin.